All right, guys, good morning. Uh, today's, uh, today's topic is going to be uh, Trump is your Hitler. Trump is your genetic test, and you have wildly failed this test. Wildly failed this test. If a Hitler says, hey, listen guys, we're going to kill a bunch of people that are the same species as us, the same color as us, same locale as us, we're going to kill billions of people, and those people don't say, hey dude, fuck you, there's a whole bunch of us, there's one of you, or you got your little group here, but we outnumber you. We're not going to do that. The point of genetics, the point at which we have spent separated from this nature, and so the need to see ourselves die, our species die off, has become so great that we're just going, all right then, let's get it done. Then, what are we waiting for? A small group may shelter a few people, but that's not the same thing. And until slightly pressured, then they say, hey, they're over there. I don't want to get on the wrong side of this thing. But they didn't stand up and say, as a group, we got billions of people that could have stood up and said, hey, that's not going to happen, dude. There's no way we as a group are going to go in with this or go along with this. And now we once again have this autocrat that is saying, hey, I'm gonna murder those people because they're black. I'm gonna murder those people because they're brown. I'm gonna murder those people because they're a different shade of brown. Literally got elected on a campaign of saying, hey, those other humans are racist because they're a slightly different color, slightly different hue of orange, and there's 341 million Americans and one motherfucker. The Bill of Rights isn't free. It's not, hey, these are the things that you just get to have now because you were born in a country. It's a responsibility. The right to bear arms isn't a right to choose. It's a responsibility for every one of you to own weapons and be ready to act when it comes time, when this freedom is taken away from you. We had a king. The king was murdering people in the name of the inhabitants, the people that lived under this ruling. And those people said, fuck you, we're going to go someplace else and make a new society where we choose what our rulers do. And then we made this constitution and wrote down, hey, you have the right to bear arms, guaranteed in this country. That's not for people that are coming in to your home. That's not for hunting. We're fighting for our rights to have our guns in case somebody breaks into the fucking house. We're fighting for our rights, saying, hey, how am I going to get food if I'm not allowed to have guns all of a sudden? That's not why this is here. The entire reason we put this in the Constitution is so that we can't have another autocrat saying, I'm going to kill Nigerians, I'm going to kill Iranians, I'm going to kill Venezuelans in your name. That song "Kill It in the Name of" is playing inside of my head right now. Rage Against the Machine. Y'all need to pump that shit and get worked up. However, I'm not here to instigate violence. I'm here to tell you how to repair your genetics. When we separate ourselves from our human energies, a switch goes off and it says, kill all humans, like Homer Simpson in the Shining episode. But the urge to kill humans is set by the necessity. And so once we make this switch, we remove ourselves from this. They removed us from these life cycle with these energies in the 50s intentionally to create super consumers. Successfully, it worked. After that, everybody is trying to die. But this process of dying is extremely profitable. You're buying 10 times the amount of food a normal human would eat, and then you're suffering from the medical conditions from eating those things. While preparing to play Steve Jobs, the actor Ashton Kutcher started eating a bunch of carrots, juicing carrots as a matter of fact. And Steve Jobs was known for having orange skin because he was juicing a bunch of carrots. Then he died of pancreatic cancer. Ashton Kutcher is saying, hey, I'm gonna get into this character role by juicing a bunch of carrots. His skin turns orange, then he's in the hospital with problems with his pancreas. These are consistents. These are constants. We know what's going to happen if you drink too much alcohol, if you smoke too much weed, if you eat too many Lay's potato chips. We know what's going to happen to you. It's 1 + 1 = 2, regardless of where you're at, regardless of your genetics. The same thing happens to every person. If you just go, man, I love carbohydrates, chemicals and carbohydrates, and just sit down for literally 4, 5, 6 hours a day, bam, 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 you're not going to see problems in 50 years. The picture you're being painted is these small accumulative things are going to bear fruit 40 years from now, but that's not the case. I moved into a chic little restaurant, hipster restaurant. I want to say the word restaurant really bad. Chic, hipster neighborhood with a shit ton of restaurants, amazing restaurants, and immediately my wife and I got welcomed in to these super cool groups of artists, bunch of different groups, and all of them just welcomed us right in. We were a little bit white trash at a time when white trash was très chic. There were the geek chic movies had just come out where the white nerd turns out to be the super cool person. Might have been the thing, because quite frankly, our lifestyle had absolutely nothing to do with these amazing people's lifestyle. So at first, we're kind of in awe. We're going, what? You guys are welcome. Everybody's throwing these exclusive parties that nobody knows about. Then they're inviting us, and we're looking at each other going, we're not. You guys are the cool people inviting specifically the cool people. We're not that. We're not. We're boring science nerds that are growing hundreds of pounds of food in our house and in our basement, and then working out for 3, 4, 5 hours a day, but not even considering it working out. We're just chugging around on our little bicycles a bunch of times around Wash Park, and then running our little errands on the bicycle, and everybody's going, wow, look at how much you're working out. We're like, we're just riding our bike over there because we don't have to park. Parking is a bitch, and our car is big. We don't drive cars anyways, but at the time we had a promotional vehicle for a company, and it was a big, it really didn't fit us at all. We were embarrassed about it, but we had a big Hummer with great big tires, and then a vehicle wrap, and we'd go to the convention center and park it back up on a big ramp, and it would get attention for our green energy company. So the vehicle really didn't match, our lifestyle or our personalities, but it was this great big vehicle to get attention for doing green things like installing solar and geothermal and super high efficient HVAC equipment, which is just a huge night and day difference. Night and day difference in not just what your bills are going to look like, but what the environment's going to look like because of the lower consumption. But all that to say, they invited us in, but these people are sitting down and just drinking, high calorie beverages, and then eating super high calorie foods for 10, 15, 17 hours a day. There's a little bit of drugs involved, and so they're not really doing that much of sleeping on the weekends, and the entire time that they're just sitting there blasted out of their mind on uppers, they're blasted out of their mind on depressants at the same time. However, set aside, cocaine and alcohol, the number of calories that they were putting down in these 15-hour sessions was unfathomable. We would get there, and these people have been partying for 10 hours already. Then they're saying, "Hey, catch up," and we're saying, "Okay, give me a rum and water." And they're saying shots, and we're going, "Hey guys, we don't we don't do shots. We don't taste alcohol. White rum is a zero carbohydrate ferment, and we're going to put about this much in a glass, and then we're going to fill that glass with water, so you don't taste any rum. If you drank 2 or 3 of them, you'd start to get the tiniest bit of a buzz, but tomorrow you're not going to go, oh man, look at what I've done to myself. You're not going to go, where's my wallet? Where's my telephone? Getting a little bit relaxed and kind of getting goofy, laughing about stuff that might not be so funny. That's awesome, but drinking to blackout or drinking to health or financial stress, I don't know what that means. So we're observing these people and then seeing them change. These are the cool kids. These are the most attractive, coolest people, most desired people in the entire city living in this downtown little Baker historical district, which is Wash Park, West Wash Park, and they're just destroying themselves in front of us. And we get in here, everybody's 20, everybody's skinny, everybody has the most stylish clothes, everybody is an accomplished artist or tattoo artist or restaurant owner, somebody that everybody wants to say they know. I know the owner, I know the bartender, I know the tattoo artist, I know the artist that does the murals in the city. And then very shortly, very quickly, very quickly, we're seeing these people consume calories until they're telling us, hey, I'm going to go work out with you tomorrow. I look like shit. I didn't really notice at first because it's kind of gradual, but I feel like I've gained a lot of weight, and I'm gaining it in weird, spots. The girls are gaining this very masculine weight in, double chins and masculine love handles. Girls that are living in their life cycle put on weight very differently. When they gain weight, it's just more ass and titties. And, the guys can't believe it, and there's absolutely no reason to reel that back. Where a girl that's living outside of her life cycle or in a life cycle with a water treatment plant, her body is going to choose to put that weight in very off-putting places to where they become unattractive. A female inside of her life cycle, the more the better. I was dating a gal that was a little bit of a nut, but just really generous, really nice. But once a month, she would just get drunk and do some weird stuff. And so I remained in contact with her and aware of her for a lot of years, but really only knew her until the first time she had this little characteristic pop out. However, this girl got depressed, and she started just drinking white rum in the morning time and then eating whole cakes. I'd go to her, pass by her house to check on her health, and there would literally just be a whole cake and a fork. There's no food here. There's a bottle of white rum and a cake. And so I'm seeing the rum going, hey dude, it's not nighttime. I don't want to endanger my health here. Are you drinking that rum? And each time she'd say no, but it's really hard to tell if somebody's drinking white rum from smell anyways. It's tough to tell. Somebody that's, beer and whiskey and cigarettes, it's right out of the gate. But somebody can really keep white rum on the down low. And so I'd be checking on her health, and I'd smell a little bit of sweetness. White rum is made out of sugar cane. And so they distill they ferment all of the sugar out. The yeast eats all of the sugar, but it remains a little bit sweet because of the cane sugar. So there's the flavor of sweetness without having any sugar or carbohydrates. And so you kind of smell that on her, but the manner in which she gained weight was unbelievable. It was just ass and titties, and in perfect proportion. I want to say performance. Perfect proportion. If a gal was just to gain weight in her butt, but it was, just saggy or just in one area, or looks like cottage cheese or something like that. The body can choose to attract or not attract, and it can choose exactly how and where to put that fat. And so her body has got this perfect butt. The top of the butt starts at the lower back. There's a full center of the butt. The bottom of the butt is perfectly shaped, and every time she takes a step, this thing jiggles and barely taps the bottom of her leg. It's really a specific shape that we see consistently in females that are living inside of their life cycle, where any other abnormality, where we've got no butt and instead we're just expressing big old guts and big old love handles with zero butt whatsoever, or you've got one of these huge butts, but it's squeezed together, and there's a shelf up above where it looks like she could just rest her arms on the ass meat that is just jutting up. The body can choose to attract with any amount of weight, but because we're living in the Baker Historical District, and while me and my wife have beautiful species-specific energies growing everywhere, everybody else is living 4 people to a Queen Victorian with no garden per se. The people that have some garden and fewer people have more symmetry, but the people that are living a typical downtown life are seeing themselves gain weight in really unattractive ways. But these are people that when they arrived from a small town where they probably had a lot more SSEs, these people were breathtaking, beautiful, beautiful. The females have beautiful female bodies, and now suddenly they probably put on weight during childhood. You're going to put on some weight, then you're going to grow, then you're going to put on some weight, then you're going to grow regularly. And now, before, they probably put on weight in a very symmetrical manner. This probably would have been ass and titties, and then they stretch out, ass and titties, and then they stretch out. Suddenly they're putting on weight, but it's love handles that they've never seen before instead of just ass and titties. And so they're saying, hey, we want to go to the gym with you. However, my wife and I are happy to oblige. Lots of people are embarrassed about going to the gym because people take little TikToks of people accidentally misusing the equipment and just looking like assholes backwards on the equipment trying to do something, or running like Phoebe on Friends on the treadmill or something. And so a lot of people are embarrassed to go that first time, or tend to just stick to the equipment that they know how to use. So going with somebody that goes all the time and being taught, hey, here's how you use form. You can't just run flat-footed, or you're going to have a very short running career. There's a form to it. The heel of your foot is going to hit. You're going to have a decent shoe that's got a little support and a little bit of a roll to it, and you're going to roll that foot so you're not slapping anything and just sending that impact up through all of your joints. So we're happy to oblige, but it becomes this thing where every Friday everybody is saying, oh, we're going to go to the gym with you guys tomorrow. So it becomes a little bit annoying for us because we're not mom and dad. We're not trying to be the bummers of this group, trying to guilt people into going. We're loving that people are seeing us out there, enjoying sharing their lifestyle, but then, first thing in the morning, we're out there killing it. We actually went to sleep and got up at a decent hour, got a bunch of stuff done, got that exercise in. We're happy for them to see that, but we're not trying to be the police, the principal, the bummers of the group. Had people started working out with us, it wouldn't have been that way, but because nobody's actually following through, it's like, oh, here comes those guys. Yeah, we're going to work out real soon, when we had absolutely no desire to get these people to work out. Quite frankly, if you have a workout routine, bringing people into it it's not fun. It's weird. It's not fun. You got a thing. You're doing this thing for 3 hours, and now you've got to stop and wait for people and explain things, and it's a bummer. You know, if you can help them, hey, we're an example, and now, hey, here's how you do the thing without hurting yourself. Now, you know, go on your own little thing. We weren't really helping anybody, though. Everybody was just saying every Friday, we're going to start doing that. But of course, if you don't have a life cycle, your body's job is to not work out. It's to eat calories until you die. And that's what we're seeing widespread in America, is that this results in Hitler. Hitler is one person. We need 341 people that are complacent, that are slaves, that will just let this one person say, hey, I'm just going to bomb that guy. You're seeing no kings rallies, but these no kings rallies are not saying, hey, we got 300,000 of us and we have a demand. You're going to step down, motherfucker, or we're going to do some shit. They're just taking selfies. Look, no kings. They're just getting attention for themselves. Anything an American can do in this genetic state, we're not talking shit about Americans. We can heal everyone. However, in this broken state, anything that gets attention, these people are going to run out and try to get some of it. One person dresses up as a frog. There's no political statement here. This isn't art. We're not trying to express, hey, this is what we're mad about, and this is what we want out of this situation. One person got attention for dressing up as frogs, so now we got a bunch of fucking people dressing up as goddamn frogs. There's no point except getting attention. This isn't an anti-Hitler movement. Hey, you're not going to just kill people in our name. You know, you're one guy, but people aren't saying, oh, look, Trump is doing this thing. They're saying, oh, look, America, on a global stage, we're being represented by this one rapist that sends sonnets to other rapists about their little ongoing secret activities. We should have murdered that guy for that. And now just having little rallies and saying, hey, look at me, I'm cute. There is no anti-killing poor people sentiment to this. You guys are just out taking fucking selfies. But I'm not pointing a finger at anybody. We can fix this. All we have to do is take down this little border, get back into a relationship with this soil, with these trees, with some edible animals at our house. If you're a little bit weirded out, we don't have to eat the animals. We just have to live with the animals that we've eaten for millions of years. Your body is measuring the number of species energies, the amount of species energies, and making genetic decisions. If we have this relationship, first of all, nobody goes crazy and says, hey, I'm going to rape kids. I'm going to kill brown people. This person is trying to commit suicide. They're shunning mating opportunity by, having sex with non-sexual people, and then reducing the number of the species, but trying to attract a death. 5 people so far have tried to kill this guy justifiably. But that's what his actions are attempting to attract without him knowing. The right lobe is making all these decisions and then telling the left lobe, which you identify as you, hey, this is why this is normal. And so, a Trump is going to see his actions as completely normal, because that right lobe is orchestrating a suicide, and then telling the left lobe, hey, this is fucking normal, dude. Completely fucking normal. There's no weirdness here whatsoever. All the weird people around you that are doing super antisocial things, super aggro things, the right side's taking control of the hands, doing these things, and then telling the left side, this is what's up. This is normal, yo. This is what we've been doing for millions of years, or this is the new style. This is the cool thing to do. There's nothing weird going on here. And, sorry, I could hear the cat on in the sun, but I can't see it. How crazy is that? It sounds like it's right here. But we can. There it is. We can just reverse all of this. We can cure every single person. The most antisocial person there is out there. All we have to do is get these microorganisms back inside this guy, and then switch the prime decisions, the prime objectives of this body, and everything is going to switch up, yo. If you don't have any chemicals inside of your body to fight off cancer, to make the spinal fluid that your brain is sitting in that needs to be swapped out 100% every day, if we don't have microorganisms to make serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, we cannot have a chemically balanced person. Quite frankly, every American is walking around with shit in their skull. This liquid, your brain is producing waste. This liquid is supposed to be changed out 100% every day, but the liquid is being made by a microorganism. You've pickled yourself. You've flushed yourself of all microorganisms. You're in a cyclical relationship with the water treatment plant. All the microorganisms that are supposed to be going in a circle and coming back to you are going to the water treatment plant, being killed, and now the water that's coming back to you has zero microorganisms, but definitely has antibiotics that are killing the rest of the microorganisms. And that's where you're seeing scared, anxious, unhappy, unbalanced people. Those same people plus microorganisms would just be normal, thin, attractive people. That if a crazy person said, hey, we're just going to start killing brown people or black people because they're brown people or black people, you'd go, hey, the fuck you're going to do that? We're 341 million people. You're a dude that sues people pretty quick, but there's still 341 of us, motherfucker. And P.S., we have guns. You're not going to do that. You're going to represent the things that we want. You said lower gas prices, so some dumbass rednecks voted for you, and now those guys are saying, hey, you promised low egg prices, low gas prices, and now all you're doing is making us look like assholes and literally ruining not just the environment, but the economy for hundreds of years going forward. The damage that's being done, you can't throw a lever and undo it. Getting him out of office at this point, it would take decades to undo things in the Supreme Court, in the environmental goals. The windmills seem extremely expensive up front, and then the maintenance, replacing those big blades and having guys that make hundreds of thousands of dollars as technicians maintaining these things versus solar panels. I'm not saying I'm with the guy on that, but those ones don't seem viable. They cost so much up front and then having to replace those things, but, he's not just he's anti-green, where we absolutely have a 911 fucking global emergency where we all have to be going in the same direction at the same time, or the earth ends. It's going to be very difficult to undo that. So I think all I'm pushing for is let's get this message spread, and these people will become normal again. If somebody's raped children, kill that motherfucker for sure, but then understand that the goal of a zombie is polygamy. It's to have sex that won't produce children. That just disappears. That's not a problem with America. That's not a problem lurking in humanity. That's only if we do this. It's only if we get rid of microorganisms and tell the body there's too many people and not enough our species energies, species-specific energies. Guys, that's what I got for you. Trump is your Hitler. He is your test, and you fucking failed miserably. The great news is we can repair this relationship anytime, and everybody just gets better. Some stuff we can't. Some stuff we can. If your daughter grew 7 feet because her job was to attract the same sex, she's going to grow feminine body parts when we do this, but she's going to be 7 feet. She's not gonna shrink, but we can have a beautiful, voluptuous 7-foot female. But there's some damage that's not going away, is what I mean. Guys, you guys are super important to me. That's why I do this. I'm gonna do this again real soon. Beep.